Gestell is a RegTech company that makes compliance and regulatory related activities faster, more efficient, and less costly using artificial intelligence. Our business process automation and machine learning solutions streamline the way financial institutions and regulators obtain, store, and analyze their data to better solve challenges such as money laundering, customer verification, and transactional analysis. We specialize in building subtech solutions. In 2018, through the R2A initiative, we built one of the first anti-money laundering platforms that use machine learning to better supervise financial institutions. Then, in 2019, we won third place in the first iteration of this FinTech Showcase. Finally, in 2020, our digital regulatory reporting solution was selected as one of the 10 finalists in the G20 Hackathon, a competition sponsored by the G20 Group and the Bank for International Settlements to resolve regulatory compliance and supervision challenges. So today, what we are talking about is our regulation as a service solution. Our compliance and data management solution that we are going to talk about today offers a mechanism of free software delivery by financial supervisors to financial institutions so that they can comply with lower cost and more efficiency to their AML, CFT, KYC, CDD obligations. The problematics that our solution solves are the following 5 problematics. First of all, the high regulatory cost for the financial institutions in developing countries regarding AML requirements. As of today, all of the tools that the financial institutions use are not parameterized to each jurisdiction necessities, are expensive, and require technical personnel to operate them. The second problematic we solve is the lack of affordable and cutting-edge technological resources by regulators to supervise financial institutions in a faster, deeper, continuous, and bigger scale. All of our solutions are think to address the principle 3 of the G20 high-level principles for digital financial inclusion. The third problematic we solve is incapacity to apply homogeneous and effective policies using digital technologies, so compliance and supervision processes can mitigate the phenomenon of de-risking. The fourth problematic solved is the limited cross-jurisdictional sanction screening and due diligence capabilities of both the financial institutions and the regulators. Finally, we solve the problem of bad data quality and validation processes in AML CFT regulatory reporting that affects the financial intelligence unit's capabilities and that cause potential fines to the financial institutions. So our solution has 3 key points. First of all, we are a regulation as a service, which means we are an array of data management and compliance tools that are delivered by financial authorities or that can be downloaded directly by the financial institutions to ensure a common level of compliance in the jurisdiction. Second, we're a plug-and-play solution. All of our tools are created in software containers, allowing the financial institution personnel to install them on any type of infrastructure, even personal computers, and without the need of an IT crew. And finally, we address financial inclusion. Financial institutions can comply more easily and with a standard of quality to their AML requirements that, if violated, can cause reputational risk and fines that aggravate the problems like the de-risking, which affects financial inclusion in developing countries. So, how does our solution work? Using our solution, as seen in this diagram, the financial supervisor, a regulator that is in the center of the image, can distribute for free and in a direct way using APIs or a downloadable app any set of data management and compliance ready-to-use tools in software containers to any type of financial institution. These containers allow universal installation on any type of infrastructure, higher speeds in the delivery of updates or enhancements through microservices, and fast scaling in the distribution of the solution in the ecosystem. The distributed tools, we are calling them machine executable regulation, which means they are legal precepts turned into software for the automated use on the data required, like, for example, reporting filing rules, foreign currency limits in transactions, or another AML CFT obligations the institutions have to comply. Every tool comes with descriptive or advanced analytics as needed, using dashboards. How are data management and compliance tools created? Well, in this graph by the Bank of England, we can see the different regulatory frameworks implemented in the financial sector. One of the biggest problems in financial inclusion is the imprecise and ambiguous set of rules in legislations regarding subjects like AML that end up causing problems like de-risking. New and small financial institutions in developing countries need precise, clear, and automated regulations, as shown in the bottom of the pyramid, that guarantee a common level of quality and compliance in the jurisdiction. This is the reason why our tools are built as machine executable regulation. Instead of downloading instructions and format, the financial institutions use automated rules in the software. So basically, what we do is in 2 steps. First step, we analyze the regulation. A group of lawyers and programmers analyze the jurisdiction regulation to create a series of validation rules. The second step is the programmer. The aforementioned rules that were validated or created are coded into Python, so they could become machine readable and executable. Afterwards, this machine executable regulation is packed in software containers and it's deployed to the financial institutions. So our takeaways. First of all, the subtext solution we offer can work both ways, as a service or as a download your app scheme. It doesn't require the financial authorities to invest in big data or cloud infrastructure, nor specialized human resources are needed for its deployment. Second, compliance and data management tools are tailor-made to the specific regulatory requirements of the jurisdiction because we algorithmize the legal rules. It doesn't need to be parameterized by the business users. Third, the solution can be scaled to all the financial institutions in a jurisdiction without aggregate cost or long times of delivery. For example, in Mexico, the jurisdiction in which the solution was created for this showcase, you can download the tools immediately once the supervisors contract the services. And finally, our solution delivers according to what is required, either descriptive or advanced analytics to the financial institutions that don't have the resources to cover the cost of high-end technology. Thank you very much. Now I will take in questions from the panel.
Thank you very much, Emmanuel. And that was quite apt and brief. And I would yield the floor to the judges for their quick questions.
Hi, Emmanuel. Nice to see you here again. I have a question. Do you have some kind of measurement of this service like being used in Mexico, for instance, or in the region?
Hi, Christian. That's a great question. Nice to see you again in this FinTech Showcase. Well, in Mexico, the service is being right now in a process with the CNBV. They can give you more data regarding how is this implemented to the institutions. Nonetheless, with our services and with our solutions, banks can use the same solution, RegTech solution, and start seeing if their reports are being compiled well and are consistent with the legal obligations they have.
Thank you very much, Kristen, and thank you for that response, Emmanuel. I see Nasser's hand up, and then we'll take the last question from Gestell.
Yes, hi, thank you very much for the presentation. From what I understand, you are basically therefore controlling the application of regulation because it's coded into the system by your team. What level, firstly, how do you deal with a constant changing regulatory environment, and how do you keep up to date with new regulations? And secondly, how are you managing the risk of potentially getting the interpretation of the rules wrong?
Okay, thank you for your question, Mr. Subari. First of all, we are a RegTech as a service solutions, which means that we function as a software as a service solution. So with a monthly rent, all of the maintenance regarding regulation updates or adjustments that the regulators do will be updated each time the regulator will update the information. How do we see or update the regulation? Well, we are a group of expert lawyers that are looking for all of the new regulations or updates in the same regulation. And when a new regulation is updated or the regulation that was previously coded is updated, we analyze the new regulation. We just put again the same information into Python code via our programmers, and we will deploy the solution. So basically, it's an intermined position because we use the analyze of the lawyers of the jurisdiction we are talking about with the programmers that will code the information. So sorry, basically, yes.
If I may just then follow up, what is your liability if you get it wrong?
Well, The
institution gets fined due to misappropriate application of regulation, what liability do you take?
Well, this is a subtext solution, so the supervisor has to show us how do we have to do and code the regulation into the machine executable regulation program. So the liability is that if the interpretation of the supervisor is wrong, well, it will be wrong. But nonetheless, as we are RegTech as a service, if there's a mistake in the regulation, we can address it immediately and it will be deployed immediately.
Thank you so much for that. Nessa, just to allow Giselle Hacks the last question, and I would ask Emmanuel to keep the response to 30 seconds. Thank you.
Sure.
Very much, Emmanuel, for the presentation. I have one question. It's how does the solution address the gender gap?
Okay, Giselle, that's a wonderful question. Thanks for it. Regarding women and how do we address financial inclusion? Well, our solutions are think to combat the de-risking phenomena, which means that if a bank or a financial institution, a small financial institution or a credit union or a little financial institution needs to have a program that is addressed to women, but needs to comply with all of the AML, CFT obligations they have, well, forget about to have or employ people to start complying with the AML, use our solution and focus the energy of that people in new products to empower women.
Thank you so much, Emmanuel. Thank you so much, judges, for those questions, and all the best to you, Gestell.